Greetings and salutations, my beautiful people. I'm in love with this shirt. I am now back from my break, and if there's one thing that I've learned from my time away, it's that no one making videos on their own channels are allowed to have a little bit of fun anymore. Dear, that's not good, is it? But that doesn't matter, because Christmas is fast approaching, and the more charitable and caring side of me is beginning to surface.
Spare a crisp, sir? Spare a crisp?
I don't know, they do taste very good.
Please, sir?
No.
Spare a crisp?
I just said no.
But sir, I only want a crisp.
And so, to act on this truly joyous and festive feeling I'm having right now, I figured that I'd take some time to share some truly unbelievable, independently made levels in a game that's based entirely around imagination and creativity. And that game is LittleBigPlanet 2. Yeah.
LittleBigPlanet is the tits. No, not those tits. You know, the ones. There you go. Anyway, LittleBigPlanet was a breath of fresh air for PS3 users back in 2008, giving everyone great old school platforming in creative puzzles with sweet gadgets and the chance for anyone and everyone to make their own entire levels from scratch with the thousands of tools and templates that were unlocked throughout the story. And then, out of everyone's disbelief, the geniuses behind that game at Media Molecule then made a second one. Anyone would think that it would be a copy and paste situation that would feel more like DLC than an entirely new game, but fucking lord, you would be mistaken. LittleBigPlanet 2 more than doubled everything that the first one offered. Literally. Look at how much more was added. That's a lot. It looked like another standard subpar platformer from first glance, but strip away the child-friendly and sweetly innocent exterior, and you have one of the most creative, ambitious, and complex games ever made, with Stephen Fry fucking teaching you how to play it. Like in the first game, you could still make your own levels, except while the interface and the ideas and the tools remained more or less the same, thousands of more options were added, and much more complex levels could be produced by LittleBigPlanet 2. Most of these levels can be a standard platforming jolly romp, others can be an unprofessional and empty disappointment, and others can push the fucking boundaries of imagination and creativity, and truly make even the most veteran creators scratch their heads in complete awe of what some people can accomplish completely on their own with no budget, lots of time, care, and with a limited interface. Hell, despite the fact that this is a puzzle platformer, most of the custom levels that I picked twist and manipulate the platforming mechanics into unorthodox and complex systems such as navigatable menus, save states, HUDs, and real-time maps, which can then be implemented into space shooters, racing games, RPG, strategy simulators, and fuck knows what else. How people work this shit out honestly astounds me. And that is what I call fucking mind-blowing creativity, and these more complex ideas are things that are only possible in this glorious sequel over the original.
I initially wanted to do my top 10 worst LittleBigPlanet 2 community levels, but then I just felt like a fucking jerk about it. And I can't really judge on that at all, because I did try my hand at some custom levels in LittleBigPlanet 1 when I was 15, and they were fucking shit, so I can't comment on that at all. And so instead of doing that, I thought I'd promote creativity, and I thought I would do my top 10 favourite community LittleBigPlanet 2 levels. And so after the hours of research, hours of searching, hours upon playing, countless amounts and stupid amounts of these levels, out of the 8 million of them, I think I've narrowed it down to my good favourite 10, I think. By the way, 1 level per creator, otherwise there's gonna be too many levels by one guy. If there were any levels made in the first LittleBigPlanet, I'm gonna pick the most updated reincarnation of it in LittleBigPlanet 2, or at least I'll try to anyway, some of them don't. But you know what? They're on LittleBigPlanet 2, so that's good. So enjoy, I think.
You know when something is just so bad it's brilliant? Pure genius? Movies like Dungeons and Dragons, The Room, Yellowbeard. I'm not sure about Birdemic, that's just fucking shit. But you know what I mean? Well, this is one of those cases. I'm not putting her at number 10 because she's my sister, but I urge you, look for Rosie the Smurf, and when you do, witness the splendor of the My First Friend series. Yes. Series. She made more than one of them. And if you want to see the inner workings of a 13-year-old Rosie going on to her current age of 17 with appalling grammar, nonsensical events, betrayal, lust, greed, crime, emptiness, terribly made staircases, and this thing stalking you, then look no further. I can't say much about My First Friend other than,
Daddy, I'm scared. How do we turn this off?
So do yourself a good favor and, actually, so sorry, this is bullshit. Never play these. Ever. In fact, burn your copy of LittleBigPlanet 2 right now to stop anyone from ever playing them. He'll come for you. He'll find you. He always does. He's so hungry. He just won't stop. If we have to incinerate every copy of this game between here and St. Mary's Church in the hollow of the White Hazel near the rapid whirlpool of Lanticilio of the Red Cave, then by God we shall never rest, because he'll get you! Yes! Oh, he does! He always does! His day of reckoning is always so. So in all seriousness, why not just forget everything that I just said and play Sackro Machine's Championship made by Splap Me Do? This user is amazing at making fun multiplayer kart races and still is making more tracks to this insanely fun series as much as he or she can. It's very nostalgic, it's very fast-paced, it's very addicting, very charmingly designed, and great fun. At number 9 is a level known as Wish, made by Ricky Air. This is the first more traditional LittleBigPlanet custom platformer that I'll be talking about today, and much like my voice right now, it's unbelievably relaxing. It does a fantastic job of transporting you to an above-the-ground universe filled with tranquil colours, flowing and descending heavenly waters, imaginative platforming detail, and mystical clouded pillars. Also, the use of the cinematography tools are used simply but to brilliant effect, reacting in real time to whatever switches you pull, and making you feel like you are making an impact on the world, which in turn makes this level almost alive and breathing. It's short, yes, and not too hard at all, but very sweet. And when it gets to the underground sections, the level certainly manifests itself into a wish come true. Number 8 then throws all the pansy shit out the window and lets you blow everything up! And that level is known as Maximum Carnage by Foofles. Well, this one is a pretty self-explanatory twin-stick shooter, which means using the right stick to shoot and the left stick to drive. Using a manipulated top-down view and a vehicle manipulated with projectile firing, and then mixing that in with space station-esque settings, allowing you to demolish absolutely everything attacking you, means that this almost pans out like a top-down and 7 years plus version of Doom. For the children. And when you consider that this has a maneuvering stats display, specialized power-ups, and hugely specific, tightly tuned shooting throughout this lengthy and extremely fun stage, you wonder just how someone came up with all this stuff from something that started with just running left to right. Pretty damn impressive. Number 7 honestly made me double take. This is Galactic-based defense made by a person called Urban Devil with 2 L's, who is also responsible for the currently in progress epic-looking LittleBigPlanet RPG known as Omicron Neon City. But since that isn't finished yet, as fucking impressive as it is, I can't put it here. Once it's done, consider that in the top 3. But until then, marvel at this ingeniously made tower defense game that allows you to trade and earn your typical score bubble points for guns, lasers, flamethrowers, and all sorts while you protect any given base from an onslaught of enemies. This is nothing new and all over Flash games on the internet, yes, but to accomplish this from LittleBigPlanet is incredible. Not to mention it works perfectly, is hugely addicting, and is all around just a greatly made custom level, allowing you to spend too long on something that was simply meant as an experimental level creation technique. Relish in it. Yeah. Number 6 is back on traditional platforming lane for something pretty fresh and fantastically fun, taking advantage of the tilting motion controls with the DualShock 3 and messing around with all the gadgets that we love so dearly. This is Full Metal Tilt by R2-D2. This level is very much like the furnace from Metal Gear Solid. So it's a fucking good start already, I should say. Sci-fi themes are a big seller for me anyway, but the absolutely immaculate attention to detail here is what makes this level stand out. Not only are the puzzles beautifully constructed, themed, and integrated into the space station theme, but the environment is gorgeously detailed to every last degree, stemming a lot into the vibrant lava colors to accompany the cold steel colors. And that lighting is beautiful. Oh my goodness. I think I peed a little. But not only do the visuals and design take the cake here, but also the actual gameplay within the level. Varied, fun, challenging, and with the same quality that you'd initially expect from the guys who made the game themselves. And that's why this kicks ass. That's why these things exist, right? To surprise you? I'm pretty surprised, I must say, so I guess I'm right. Number 5 is another mind-blowing thing known simply as Contrast, made by Alastair26. It has its own title sequence. It has its own menu. It has its own fucking loading screen, and it even allows you to save the game within the game. How? That alone is enough to grant it passage into my favourite top 5, but then we get to see what this is actually all about. And this is based on those cool indie Flash games from days gone by in which you have to solve puzzles, push switches, avoid obstacles, and flip it between negative dimensions to continue. Like most of these levels, yes, it sounds like nothing too original, but then you remember that for the LittleBigPlanet 2 creation tools, this is unbelievably impressive, and I have no fucking idea at all how this could have even started to be executed, let alone by just maybe the one person making it. Not to mention it gives you 30 levels of platform puzzle greatness, throwing in new mechanics to spice things up, keeping its irresistible LittleBigPlanet charm, while simultaneously making you wonder how on earth this was pulled off in the first place. Number 4 is honestly one of the most fucking amazing things I've ever seen in my life. Yes, you are seeing this right now. I'm not playing a hack or a hoax or a HD widescreen 720 1080 version of Zelda. I'm playing an entirely remade to every last detail, glorious LittleBigPlanet 2 tribute to the first dungeon of the original Zelda, complete with the right music and all. When? What? How? Who? Actually, I know who. Blue Tunberry. Classic Zelda 1-1. If you've never played LittleBigPlanet before, you're probably wondering why I'm so excited over this, but if you have played LittleBigPlanet before, then you'll understand why this is one of the most impressive and creative things I have ever witnessed. Everything is right. The attack, controls, enemies, pause menu with equipable items, external HUD game mechanics, and real-time map mixed into the original game HUD. The fact that you can fire your sword at full health, the details, it's just, my god! When I searched this up, I did not see this coming, and it actually shocked me how precise it was. And that is why Caddy decided to put a 1986 video game repackage onto number 4 of his LittleBigPlanet 2 countdown. Thank you very much, and fuck off.
Number 3 is another one of those there space shooting, twin sticky stubble awkward. Damn, my thumbs fell off.
And it's known as Blast Radius, made by Johnny. This here is another standard twin stick shooter, but in space. And what makes it stand out apart from all the others is just, well, look at it. It's absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. This creator could have taken an easy backseat with this game and just made a load of white dots and a black background, throw things at you with a still camera angle and call it a space shooter, taking the Action 52 route a little bit. But this here I can't even begin to describe, so I won't. JK. As you can see, it has its own menu. Awesome. And this is highly detailed, highly challenging, highly animated in the foreground and background, highly tuned to perfection in regards to control, highly explosive, and just all-round highly high amazing space shooting. Every nudge to your ship, every shot and explosion you land, it's all pushed right forward into your face as you experience slight motion blur, shaky cam action, flashing lights, loud driving noises, and this game really deserves to be its own thing. Why not? I'd buy it. It's as addicting and satisfying to play as it is beautiful and marvelous to look at, and this user is a highly experienced LittleBigPlanet 2 crafter as it is anyway, so someone sign this guy up for something. If he can make a great space shooter with these limitations and manipulations to the platforming the level creator is made for, then good God, I'd love to see what else he could do. So I beggeth you, if thy worketh in thou humble game developer management, considereth this of maneth foreth futureth thy thou hist full of time jobbeth. Okay. Lockstitch, I don't know quite what it is that you did to me exactly, for when you made your level known as Vile Anchorage, little did you know that you would have captivated and entranced me from start to finish. Why is this? I'm honestly not that sure. It's a standard, traditional LittleBigPlanet platformer that could have been made in the first one, I think it actually was, but it could have been made in the first one over the second one, but good lord, I can't even put my finger on it. The atmosphere here is as thick as Heinz Big Soup with chicken and bacon, and that's pretty fucking thick. And where the platforming and entire concept is brilliantly realized and executed, the atmosphere alone just made me fall in love with this level. It completely zoned me out into its own unique and beautiful surroundings, and it grabbed me from the second that I started it. I didn't want it to end. Almost like those great movies that just suck you out of reality, an escapist fantasy, if only for a limited time, but still worth every second that you're engulfed by it. Yeah, I found it that good. For me, it just ticked all the right boxes and sets the bar for any future classic custom LittleBigPlanet 2 community platformers. You might not agree with me at all, but Vile Anchorage, I love you. But I can't have any physical relationships with an in-game community level, so I think I'm just gonna buy you a drink.
But before we get to number 1, it's been insanely difficult to narrow this down to just 10. So here are just a few, not all of them, but just a few good, awesome, honorable mentions.
And finally, my number one favorite Little Big Planet 2 level is one called The Fist of Craft Earth by Gavura22. This level is so fresh, so creative, and so deviously perfect that I reckon it could have been its own fucking standalone game on the shelf. When you play this level, you completely forget you're playing Little Big Planet 2. Instead, you're taken into a badass top-down beat-em-up universe with an unparalleled cinematic style, fucking voiceovers, cutscenes, and more depth in this one level than even some blockbuster games on the market today, as far as Little Big Planet 2 goes anyway. This genre that the user tackled is one that's so hard to get right, and he or she got it bang on in an optional, customly made, no budget, interface manipulated, unorthodoxly created, against platforming fan level. It's mind-boggling how this experiment works so well, but it seriously does. This has combos, it has special moves, it has luscious visuals, it has boss battles, it has perfect control, it has multiple parts, and it's one thing that any budding creator should aspire to. I don't want to know how complex and time-consuming this could have been for anyone involved, and I won't say anything more about this level other than just play it right now. Right fucking now. Trust me, it's
real good. And there you have it, my top 10 favourite Little Big Planet 2 community levels. I hope you really enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, and as always, thanks so much for watching, even if you know nothing about Little Big Planet. If I have missed some truly great levels out there, then please talk about them in the comments, and if I haven't, then don't. If it's your birthday today while watching this video, then happy freaking birthday to you, and please remember to stay beautiful.
I just can't wait for Christmas.